If you've been playing for years and you're still reaching for the same fills, this video is for you. Not because you haven't practiced or you have no talent, but because nobody ever showed you this. Now, believe it or not, these are just singles and doubles, but structured in a way you've probably never practiced them. Because here's the problem. Most drummers spend years collecting fills. Books, YouTube, courses, lessons, more licks, more patterns, more things to memorize. But then you go to a rehearsal and you play the same 6 fills that you've always played. How is that possible? And I know because I've been there. I had a library of different fills, but under pressure, they never really came out, and I played the same fills that I always played. And that's not a you problem, that's a systems problem, an approach, the how you play things problem. Because here's what nobody's telling you. Creative freedom doesn't come from learning more fills. It comes from understanding the creative language behind them. And if you understand that, you can create fills by yourself. And you can create hundreds of different fills from just one simple idea. Yes. And that's what today's really about. I'm going to show you how you can get 10 completely different fills from the same core idea. Not by learning anything new, but by understanding something you've been walking past your entire drumming career. Let's get into it. Alright, so the first thing that I need you to understand is that we're going to play in 16th notes today. The first thing that's important to understand is that these 16th notes, we're so used to playing them in 4 groups of 4. But let me show you this. If I have all those 16th notes, right, 4 blocks of 4, it's how we learn it, and it makes sense because we have 4 beats in 1 bar. So it only makes sense if we play 16th notes to play them in blocks of 4. But what if we now view those 16th notes as one big group of 16 notes in total? And now instead of seeing them as 4 blocks of 4, we have 16 notes in total. And those 16 notes can be grouped in different groupings. And for today, we're actually going to use groups of 3 and 5. So, for example, if we put a group of 3, a group of 5, and a group of 3, and a group of 5 together, we still get 16 notes in total, right? So if we have a group of 3, a group of 5, a group of 3, and a group of 5, right? We still have those 16 notes in total. But the thing is, what makes things difficult with using these little groupings in the beginning, it's not difficult, but in the beginning people struggle with this, is that the accents that these groupings will give you are going to be not always on the downbeat, right? They will be here and there, but not always, right? So you can see it's on the 1 and then it's on the 3. But those other 2 accents, if we play them like that, accents really make the groupings come to life. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of notes. But by playing these accents, you can hear, oh, okay, that's a different melody than your standard blocks of 4. Now, the groupings that we'll use for today is going to be right, left, left, and right, left, right, left, left. You know your singles, you know your doubles, okay? I know you do. So I'm not going to talk about how you can play singles and then combine doubles and play paradiddles, because that's what you already been doing. But this is a different approach. This creates a different way. So we play the right hand as an accent here, right? So if we put that in there, so let's see how that actually sounds. Alright, that's just step 1, right? Playing that on the snare drum is already a cool combination. So we've got the creative strategy, right? And the first step of the creative strategy is actually subdivision, right? That's already what we chose. We chose 16th notes. Then we say, hey, 2, dynamics, because we played we put in the accents, right? And the accents allow us to create a different melody than the groups of 4. So we now have dynamics. And then we can say, hey, what is the grouping that we're actually going to use? So the groupings that we're actually going to use are groups of 3 and 5. And the sticking that relate today to the groupings are right, left, left, and right, left, right, left, left. So only hands. So we play that, and then where do we actually play it? Orchestration. But orchestration, right? So I said, hey, play it on the snare. We did that. We heard how it sounds. Now, what can we do other than that? Let's start with orchestrating and putting that right hand to the floor tom. So only the right hand is going to go to the floor tom. So all right hands to the floor and the left hand stay on the snare. Your next step is going to be, hey, I've got more toms than just a floor tom. Cool. So you can do the same thing, but now play your right hand on your high tom. Now, why do I do that? It's to train my brain that I'm going to play in all these different places, the same pattern in all these different places. Your brain needs to become more comfortable with moving your hand, right? Next up is actually combining those. So what I'll do is, hey, I'm going to play my high tom. So it's going to be HT. On the 3s and on the 5s, I'm actually going to play my floor. So high tom and then floor tom, floor tom. Let's see how that sounds. All right, let's actually turn those around. So let's say the 3 is going to be my floor, my 5 is going to be my high tom. Nice. Now that is already, right? We did that on the snare. We did it on floor tom only. We did it on high tom only. We did it on floor and high tom. And then we did high tom, floor tom, right? So we moved the 3 to the high tom, 5 to the floor tom. But here's the cool thing. So we already have 5 different fills, right? But here's the cool thing. We can actually split the 5, right? Because the 5 has 2 accents. The 3 only has 1 accent and the 5 has 2 accents. So what if we split that one? So let's say we play our first 3, we play that on the snare, and then we play high tom, floor tom. Same thing, snare, high tom, floor tom. Sounds pretty cool, right? So that's fill number 6. What if now we can actually play that? Let's do floor and then high tom and snare. Just turn it around. Why not? All right, also pretty cool. Now, you can go endless with this, right? That's already like 7 fills. But I actually want to show you a few different examples as well, because this whole orchestration thing can go as far as you want it. It depends on how big your kit is, how much toms you have, how much cymbals and stuff. But think of it as creating something that makes sense, like a melody, right? Not just randomly moving your hands. If you want to apply it into music, you want to think about, hey, what is the music asking? And you can hear when I play from snare to high tom to floor, it makes sense. It's like a conversation, right? It's like a voice that is talking to you, right? So think about your orchestration. Here's another cool step that I really like to take with orchestration, is move my right hand to the hi-hat. All the right hands to the hi-hat, right? I can write it down, but basically just move all your right hands to the hi-hats. All right, so that's fill number 8, right? You can do the same thing, moving your right hand to a stack, to a right cymbal, wherever you want it. But this is actually the cool step. They're all cool steps because this principle is really endless, right? This creative strategy is literally endless. You can keep orchestrating as well. What if we now add a layer, which is actually in number 5 in the creative strategy, is add a layer. Right? And the creative strategy is something I use in my coaching, my one-on-one coaching, in all my online programs, where I teach you this system, which you can basically just put on one piece of paper and follow the steps and create endless variations on the same thing. Right? So we're at 7 fills now, 8 fills. Let's add our bass drum to all the right hands that are playing on the hi-hat. Let's see what happens. I actually am going to give you one more option, but then I'll show you how you can actually take this concept and create endless variations, right? And you get into a practice mode and a more free mode. Instead of playing it as one bar fills, you actually take the whole idea and you just throw it in your playing whenever you want. So here's what I did, right? We added the bass drum. I'm just gonna write down the bass drum when we played the hi-hat. Now here's a cool thing. What if we now also accent the 2 and the 4? So that's actually the first left of the group of 5. That's just in the 3-5-3-5 combination, but the cool thing is that left hand falls on the 2 and the 4, which is cool because that's the backbeat, so we can actually create a groove. So do the same thing, add the bass drums to all the right hands, and then accent the left hand on the first group on the group of 5 as well, on the 2 and 4. All right, so you can already see how endless this stuff is, right? Now here is the magic. We've got 9 fills right now, right? What if we go back to the snare? We bring everything to the snare. This is actually one of my favorite fills, which is where we play 3-5-3-5 and we play everything on the snare. And we only accent the single stroke. So we accent the right, right, left, right, 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 left, right. I love this fill. I use that all the time, and in other videos I will explain how you can actually develop this idea even more. But just playing that gives you a really, really cool fill. Okay, so you can already understand that you don't only have to orchestrate around the kit all the time using your toms and your cymbals, but you can actually use your snare and find different combinations there. So let me show you one more idea that you can use. Now we played 3-5-3-5, right? Which is 16 in total. Beautiful. What if we played 3-3-5-5? Wait a minute, we can change the order? Yeah, of course you can. And then right? So that would be number 6. You can change the order, and then you go through the whole process again. You go to dynamics, you go to the grouping, which we kind of already decided, but you go to dynamics. Dynamics, step 2, is something you always come back to. Then you go back to orchestration. So you go through all those steps. Orchestration, move the right into the high tom, floor tom, split the 5s, right? Bring it to the cymbal, add your bass drum, adding a layer, that's number 5. Hey, and then again, you end up at, but this is like endless, right? I mean, you can do this in one session, but choose one order of numbers for one session, and then explore the F out of it. Explore everything you can do with that combination. And then you pick another grouping, or a series. You pick another order. Hey, and then you come back to 6 again. Change the order. What if we change it again? 3, 5, 5, 3. See what I mean? This whole grouping system is literally endless. So let me give you one little freestyle with the 3s and 5s so you have an idea of how it sounds like. So that's 10 fills from one idea. That's not a trick. That's the creative strategy at work. Because that's what happens if you understand the creative language behind the fills, instead of just collecting random fills from all over the place. And here's what I want you to take from today. You didn't need anything new. You used singles and doubles, just in a different order than you're used to. You just needed a different way of looking at the same stuff. And everything you saw today is part of a bigger system. The grouping system, connected with the creative strategy. And there's more different groupings. There's the home base principle. And there's even more layers to the creative strategy on how this all fits together in one framework. But basically, I could write down the entire system on one piece of paper. That's it. And this is something I teach in all my coaching programs. So if this is something that resonated with you, find the link below and let's see if we can actually work together. And even if you never click that link, take what you needed today, and I hope it inspires you and to play better and to play with more freedom behind the kit. Because once you hear this and understand this, you can't unhear it, right? This is your new way. And that's where creative freedom is starting. So have fun, and I'll see you in the next video.